A rabbit gestation period is 1 month. So when you cross a rabbit today, which is like maybe the first of a month, like let's use for instance the 1st of January, by the 1st of February, the rabbit is supposed to give birth. So their gestation period is between 28 to 30 days. So you can see it does not even take much time for a rabbit to give birth. So on average, one rabbit can give birth to about 7 to 10 babies. Some even give birth to more. So imagine we use 5 as an average to calculate. So this means in a year, a rabbit can give birth up to, let me just say, a maximum of like 6 times or more. Because if you are crossing them every month, because some people who are doing colony systems that allow their male and their female to stay together, a rabbit can give birth today and still taking that same day. But it's not really advisable. So in that kind of setup, which the male and the female are together, a rabbit can even give birth more than 6 times in 1 year. So if we use 6 times to calculate in a year, it means a rabbit can give birth to about 30 babies or more in 1 year. This is using 5 babies to calculate on average. That's minus our mortalities and all, because surely maybe you might lose some of the rabbits or so. Yes, definitely. So if you are getting about 30 rabbit babies every year from just one female rabbit, so imagine how many rabbits you'll be getting if you have like 10 female rabbits and more. So in this video, I want to be telling you guys some of the few things you need to know when starting up a rabbit farm. Some of the few things you need to know when starting up a rabbit farm so that you won't make any mistakes. So here on our channel, we teach you how to become a successful rabbit farmer, a rabbit breeder, and also a pet owner. So if this is your first time coming across our channel, please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. So some of the few things you need to know before starting up a rabbit farm is that rabbits have a lot of food they eat, but their system is very, very fragile. If you give them what is not really good for them, it might really cause them issues. A lot of people know rabbit eats varieties of things. Rabbit eat a lot of things, but there are some things you shouldn't give to your rabbit. Things like too much of leaves. You shouldn't give too much of leaves to them. You shouldn't also give your rabbit too much of fruit. A lot of people see, maybe from movies you have been watching, you see that rabbits eat a lot of carrots. Yes, rabbits eat carrots, but the most part of carrots that rabbits enjoy more is the green part of the carrot, not the orange part. But from what we knew before, we knew that okay, rabbits love the yellowish part. So a lot of people buying the rabbit for the first time just take out this carrot and dump it into the rabbit's cage, and the rabbit start eating. Too much of this particular carrot, which is really, really sweet and contains some amount of sugar, too much of it can cause your rabbit diarrhea. And once your rabbits have diarrhea, the rabbit can actually face a lot of things and eventually can end up dying. So you should avoid giving your rabbit too much of carrots. If you want to give your rabbit carrot, it's preferable you give your rabbit the greenish parts of the carrot. That part is what the rabbits enjoy more. As you guys know, rabbits are vegetarians. They eat mostly vegetable, they eat hay, and since we have domesticated them, we feed them some amount of pellets. When I say pellets, I mean concentrate feed. When I say pellets, I mean concentrate feed. Some people use the poultry feed. Some people that cannot get rabbit feed, some of them use the poultry feed, and some others formulate their feed. So for here in our farm, we formulate our own feed that we give to our rabbits. We formulate our rabbit feeds with varieties of things like the PKC, the wheat offal, and the super starter. Yes. So when formulating your rabbit feed, you need to think out of stuff that are going to give your rabbit like a lot of fiber, because good fiber content is going to help their food digest well, so they don't have bloating. Because when your rabbits have bloating, that can be a really, really big issue for you when your rabbits get bloating. So you don't want your rabbit to have bloating, so you need to give them a kind of food that will contain a lot of fiber. This fiber content will help their food digest fast, so the food don't get stuck in their stomach and they end up having bloating. So this is why we added wheat offal to our rabbit feed. So some of the few things you shouldn't do in your rabbit farm is taking your male rabbit to your female rabbit. When crossing your rabbits, you need to consider some few things, which is taking your female to your male. When I say taking your female to your male, when you want to cross your rabbits, make sure you are always taking the female to the male. Why did we say you should take the female to your male when you want to cross your rabbit? That's when you want to breed your rabbits. This is because if you take your male to your female, the male will not just go straight to the point of breeding the female rabbit. It will go into the female rabbit's cage and start sniffing around the cage, and also it will start sniffing the female. And you know, since it is the female cage, the female will be like ahead of him, like the female will be on top of him, although most of them will still breed. But it is advisable to take the female to the male cage, so that when once the female rabbit goes in there, the male rabbit will go straight to business and go straight to breeding the female. So another thing also you don't want to do in your rabbit farm is crossing siblings. A lot of people who just started rabbit farming, maybe you just started rabbit farming, especially you started small, you just have one female rabbit that gives birth, and the female rabbit tends to give birth to like 5 babies, and you have like 3 females inside there and also 2 males. When they grow up, you try to cross them. Crossing these siblings together is what we call inbreeding. And inbreeding is not really good, but I'm not saying inbreeding is bad, because some people do it to get specific results in their farm. I'll also do a video explaining about some things about inbreeding, because some people do this inbreeding to get specific results in their farm. So I won't really say inbreeding is bad, but I won't advise you to do it if you don't know the purpose of why you are doing it. Yes. So if you cross siblings together, they might have what we call blood issues, which is called inbreeding in rabbit farming, and you might lose some of the babies that are coming out from those results of inbreeding. So we advise farmers, if you are just starting up, avoid doing inbreeding. It's better you get a separate male from a separate farm and cross your rabbits. If possible, you can get a farmer close to you that maybe if you don't have money, you can get a farmer close to you and tell him, hey, let's swap our males. I have a male rabbit from my farm, give me yours, you take mine. So you guys swap and you have different males line from your farm. So he will give you his own, and you are going to give him yours. So you can use his own to cross your rabbit and you won't get any issues. Father rabbits can cross daughter, mother rabbits can cross son. That's called line breeding. Not really that bad. It's actually good. I do it in my farm. I don't have any issues. But siblings shouldn't cross each other. Some of the things you should also know is that overcrossing female rabbits can lead to poor growth and deaths, and also not giving birth. Some farmers tend to overcross their female rabbits because the rabbit just keeps giving birth. They just tend to keep crossing them. This might really lead to a lot of bad issues, like your female rabbit is not going to be growing well because the kids she's giving birth to are going to be sucking out a lot of milk from her, and you know this milk is actually coming from her body. So she's going to be losing weight, she's not going to be growing well, and also she might end up dying because she is in like a poor health condition. Let's take for instance a female, like a human being that is giving birth every month. You notice she might not really be looking very healthy. So I advise farmers, if your rabbits give birth and take care of the kids for like 6 weeks and you separate the kids, because I advise farmers to separate rabbit babies from them at 6 weeks old. Like this particular rabbit, she has a lot of babies. I'm going to be showing you guys her babies. She have like 5 babies currently. Those 5 babies are about 3 weeks to 4 weeks currently now. I've not yet separated them from her. So I advise farmers, separate your rabbit babies from them at 6 weeks old. And also, when you want to recross her, give her like 1 week or 2 weeks rest alone. Let her eat very well, let her body come back before you can now cross her. Because rushing her to cross her, some farmers even cross the female rabbit when their babies are still with them. These are a lot of mistakes a lot of farmers do. most times you hear them now saying, my female rabbit gave birth, he did not want to breastfeed. My female rabbit gave birth, she's not breastfeeding their kids. How do you expect her to breastfeed her kids when she didn't even have enough time to rest? She will just give birth to the kids inside the cage, sometimes in the wire mesh, sometimes they won't even use the nesting box, because you did not really give them a lot of time to rest, because they are not even ready to handle another set of babies. Handling these babies for them stresses them a lot, because they tend to breastfeed the babies. They remove a lot of their hair, they breastfeed the baby right from day one. Those babies struggle their feed in their cage. They keep running around in their cage when the babies are about 3 weeks and start pursuing them, trying to suck the breast milk. So all of these things stresses this particular female rabbit. You shouldn't be really crossing them too much like that in your farm. Yes. So these are some things you need to know. I just decided to do this video and tell you guys some few things you need to know about this rabbit of a thing, because a lot of people are making many mistakes. Most times people just see rabbits and love them. Maybe you just see them in a market, or you just see them in a farm and you love them, and you thought it twice to just like buy them and start keeping them. Maybe you don't really know a lot of things about them. So this is why we came here on YouTube, to teach you guys a lot of things, so that at least you will learn from our channel and start doing the right things, so you don't lose your rabbits, so your rabbit is going to live healthy. And for those of you guys who are going into it as a business, so you make a lot of money from them, because if you keep losing them, you can make money from them, definitely, and you know that. So these are some things I've shared with you guys. Make sure about the carrots. Don't feed your rabbits carrots. Don't do inbreeding. For these female rabbits, make sure you take care of them very, very well, because they are like one of the major sources of your income. If they don't give birth and take care of their babies, you can't even give babies that you are going to be selling out and make your money. So that's why most times I like talking about the females very, very often, more than the males, because that's where the money is coming from. Basically, almost everyone going into rabbit farming are going into it as a business, exception of those people who are buying them for pets, like 1 or 2. They don't really have much issues, because most of them don't even cross the rabbit to give birth. So I hope I've been able to explain some few things to you guys in this particular video. I hope you guys have learned something. If you did learn something, do well to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also turn on the notification bell, so that when we post another video, you are going to get notified by YouTube. Thank you once again. Do have a nice day, and until next time, peace.